Imagine meeting a group that seems to have all the answers. From the moment you arrive, everyone treats you like family. They tell you you're special, that you finally found a place where you truly belong. It feels comforting, exciting, and almost too good to be true. But months later, you've stopped talking to your friends, your family barely recognizes you, and questioning the group's leader feels impossible. How does something like this happen? The answer isn't magic, it's psychology. When most people hear the word cult, they imagine strange rituals or isolated compounds. But experts generally describe cults as high control groups that use psychological manipulation to influence their members. Not every unusual group is a cult, and not every cult looks dangerous at first. In fact, many begin by offering exactly what people are searching for: friendship, purpose, hope, and a sense of belonging. One of the first techniques often used is called love bombing. Imagine walking into a room where everyone smiles at you, remembers your name, and makes you feel incredibly important. If you've been feeling lonely or lost, that kind of attention can be overwhelming in the best possible way. Our brains naturally seek connection, so this flood of acceptance creates a powerful emotional bond before we've had time to think critically. The next step is usually small, almost unnoticeable. You're invited to attend one meeting, read one book, or help with one event. Then comes another invitation, and another. Psychologists call this the foot in the door effect. Once we've agreed to small commitments, we're often more willing to accept larger ones because we like to stay consistent with our previous choices. Over time, ideas that once seemed unusual begin to feel completely normal. Another powerful method is controlling information. Members may be encouraged to avoid certain books, websites, news sources, or former members. They're told that outsiders don't understand the group or are trying to mislead them. When people are exposed to only one point of view, it becomes much harder to compare ideas or challenge what they're being told. This isn't just about limiting information, it's about limiting independent thinking. Many high control groups also create an us versus them mindset. The group is portrayed as the only place where truth exists, while everyone outside is described as confused, misguided, or even dangerous. This creates fear. If someone begins to have doubts, they may worry that leaving means losing their entire community, their identity, and the people they now depend on. As time passes, relationships outside the group often begin to fade. Family members are contacted less often. Old friendships slowly disappear. Daily life becomes centered almost entirely around the group. This isolation doesn't usually happen overnight. It happens gradually, making it difficult to notice until the outside world feels distant. Fear and guilt are also powerful psychological tools. Members may be warned that leaving the group will ruin their lives, or that questioning the leader shows weakness or betrayal. Over time, fear of losing everything can become stronger than logic itself. Even when people recognize problems, leaving can feel emotionally overwhelming. One of the biggest misconceptions is that only unintelligent people join cults. Research suggests that's simply not true. Many members are intelligent, educated, and successful. What often matters more than intelligence is circumstance. Periods of loneliness, grief, financial hardship, or major life changes can make anyone more vulnerable to groups that promise certainty, purpose, and belonging. These experiences are part of being human. Today, experts note that high control groups can appear in many different forms. While not every close-knit community is unhealthy, warning signs may include discouraging independent thinking, demanding absolute loyalty, isolating members from loved ones, or punishing people who ask honest questions. Healthy communities welcome curiosity, respect personal boundaries, and allow disagreement without fear. The most important lesson isn't that cults control weak people. It's that they understand human psychology. They understand our need for connection, our desire for certainty, and our fear of being alone. That's why awareness is so important. The next time you encounter a group that claims to have all the answers, take a moment to ask questions. Listen to different perspectives. Stay connected with people you trust. And remember, the strongest minds aren't the ones that never doubt. They're the ones willing to think critically, ask difficult questions, and make informed decisions.